Hello, everyone. How is it going? Welcome to another episode of our weekly Divine Feminine Oracle Show. My name is Meg, and I will be hosting this evening. And I am here with the beautiful and magical Solretta and Sophie. How are you guys doing?
Good, you?
Very
Yeah.
good. Solretta, how
Doing
are
really
you?
well.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. I had like a delay come through.
Oh,
I was just saying, doing really well. Thank you for having me on.
nice. And as you guys notice, like last week, Julie is not here. I am subbing in as the host for this week. Julie will be back next week, and I know we will all be very happy to see her. So let us know, you guys, how you're all feeling in the chat, all our soul family out there. There's lots of intense energies going on, lots happening, and we're going to get into it today. We're going to be talking from our divine feminine perspectives about some of the current energies, astrology, whatever we're feeling intuitively guided to bring up. And if you have any questions for Sophie or Solretta to answer with the tarot or oracle guidance, please share your questions in the comments in the super chats, okay? And before we get going, I want to share that we have got two beautiful gifts for anyone who does tip through the super chat this evening. And the first one is one of Carla's magical ascension orgonite pyramids. And this one is called Ashley. So I'm going to play this little video from Carla about Ashley.
We don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
No.
Okay, so yeah, we're having a little bit of an audio issue, you guys. That's okay. If you go to the Ascension Organites YouTube channel and look at Ascension Organites Pyramid Ashley, then you can hear Carla's beautiful video about this magical pyramid that is up for grabs. We're going to give it away to someone in the super chats this evening. And we've also got a beautiful magical full moon candle by Yoga with Elena. So this is going to go to one of the lucky super chats of the evening. These candles are so good. We're not just saying that, they're literally like the best candles I've ever tried. Solretta, have you ever tried these candles yet?
No, but I love candles. So I'm looking forward to trying them. I was hearing you girls talk about, I think it was chocolate with something else.
Yeah,
Wow.
chocolate and peach. That was me. I'm obsessed with it. It's the love one, and I have this one on my home with for my picker cards. I light that candle every time, and it's like the motivation. I cannot wait to do picker cards because of this.
Awesome. Yeah. So someone's going to get one of these full moon candles this evening, and they smell so good and last so long. So good job, Elena, on your magical, awesome candles. And also, guys, remember to like and share this video if you enjoyed this content, and subscribe to the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel, as well as the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. And it's exciting on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel. We've almost got 10,000 subscribers. So yay! We're almost there with the subscribers. And thank you guys so much for your continued support in this magical community. So you guys, what is going on this week? What are your general, like, just first impressions of this week going into it? Solretta, what are you feeling?
Yeah, so for those of you that watched the last video, I think it was on around noon, I went into talking about behind the veil, and I picked a card when we were chatting backstage, and it was actually the same card. So I've just had this card coming up out of the deck all week. Hold on a sec. So lifting of the veil. So questioning everything, anything aligned or unaligned must go. So we're really kind of like stepping in now. It's getting to be quite serious in terms of what's that vibrational alignment. And I was sharing with you girls, I made a little potion backstage, which is kind of bringing in that alignment to the new frequencies, the new energies that I'm calling in. So I also had this book want to jump out of the bookshelf. So it's the Rudolf Steiner, An Outline of Esoteric Science. And my favorite book of his is How to Know the Higher Worlds. And as we were chatting, I just got guided to open a page, and I've just highlighted it. So I'll just read to you what was in it. So it says, they were unable to develop any interest in the illusionary world of the senses, or only to the extent that it provided to be the veil of the supersensible world. So the power that the seven great teachers could exert on people like this was tremendous. And what they revealed made its way into the Indian souls. And because of the life and the bodies of the astral bodies that passed down to them, bestowed sublime powers on these teachers. So it's kind of talking about, like with the Vedic history, how these spiritual energies incarnated into their bloodlines and into the, I guess, more ascended version of the teachers. So it says they were able to have magical effects on their disciples. They did not only teach about their personalities acted upon of others as though it was magical powers. The civilization that came about in this way was completely imbued with super sensible wisdom. And that's what I'm really feeling with this veil energy come in, that this energy is up for grabs, for lack of a better way of describing it. So it says here as well, what is contained in the Vedas, the book of the Indian wisdom, is not the original form of the exalted wisdom fostered by the great teachers in the ancient times, but only a fable echo of it. Only a supersensible sight can look back into the original unrecorded wisdom behind what was written. An especially prominent characteristic of original wisdom is the harmony and accord that existed among the various oracles of the Atlantean times. Each of the great teachers could divulge the wisdom of one of the oracles, and the various aspects of wisdom were in complete harmony because of the fundamental wisdom. Almost finished. So the initiation that prophesied the coming of Christ stood behind them all. However, the teacher who was the spiritual successor of Christ initiate did not present what was the infinite self, who had remained in the background of evolution. Whilst capable of revealing initially, it was not possible for the Atlantean Christ initiate to pass on his high office or Atlantean post. So it pretty much talks about like how it was to totally transmute that perception as well. So yeah, I mean, to open up the book, like Spirit, just to say, right, just open to this page, which is page 225 for those that might have this book at home. And even, you know, just sort of highlighting it with you girls, you know, being dyslexic, I just kind of went, yep, cool. I saw the word veil pop up. I didn't realize till just then it actually is speaking about the oracles and about a few oracles. I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah. That's kind of the thread of what's going on this week, as well as talking about other higher dimensions coming in. And that we were just speaking about Sophie pulling some cards as well. And I was saying about like having the vision of the ruby shoes and kind of putting the ruby shoes on and going into other worlds.
And Sophie, any thoughts on that? How are you feeling coming into this week?
Yeah, so this week and a bit of last week, so the last few days of last week and yesterday and this day, there was a lot of question about the veil. So a lot of question about mediumship, talking with people on the other side that crossed over already, loved ones, pets, or human, that we can speak with them all. It's energy. And also with past life. And a lot of it was more grounded. It's like we are in this energy of Pisces, which is the veil, but it seems that we have some clarity coming in this week. Ooh, that was not there last week. That was not there last week, not in the beginning of last week at the very least. And I feel that this Virgo energy, let me know what you think about that, but this Virgo energy is really grounding us to really see through this veil really more easily and to make us feel more grounded. So it's just more powerful when you're grounded. When you have a crown chakra that is very developed, it's powerful. But if you have no root chakra at all, you cannot balance it. You are just lost in illusions, and it can be just vague illusions. It can be, it's hard to really take the information, the download, and really see it for what it truly is. You can be stuck in illusion. You can be stuck in fantasies. But when you have something to ground you, like this Virgo energy, I feel that you can really understand what is clear, what is there, what is for you, and why it's there. And really get a sense of, okay, now how can I use this information, that download, that feeling in my 3D life? So it's really powerful, I feel, this week. It can be draining. We know that this full moon is in Virgo, so for some people can be drained again, purging again, sick. Clients of mine today were telling me, yes, I have been dizzy, I have been vomiting, I have been having other things that I will not name, but you can imagine. It is that energy, but Virgo is just releasing what you no longer need. So I think it's very good. I think it's a very good energy that we should use for us.
Beautiful. And when you were talking about the veil, Silretta, it was making me feel about how we're in between these worlds of the old world, the old earth, and the new earth. Does it feel like that to you guys too when we're talking about the lifting of the veil? Do you feel like it's connected to that?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm getting it all week and last week in sessions. Usually, when I'm reading for a client, we'll talk about, different guides that are connected. And the way I sort of describe it is that we all have, this oversoul. And so this might be like us down here on Earth. This could be us in Pleiades or Lyra or, different past lives. And what I keep seeing is like a vibrational resonance coming through from our past life version of self, or I would say a multidimensional version of self. And it's like there's the dancing. I think we spoke about it a little bit last week, but that's coming through even stronger. So the other versions of us are really trying to help with this ascension process moving forward. And we're also freeing up the energy of the other version of self too. So there's this almost like homeopathic canceling energy that is like dissolving anything that's no longer needed, anything that's been holding us back. But yeah, I just keep seeing a vision and image. It's like if you put your hand up, you can actually touch that other version of self and feel into their soul energy and frequency, because it is you.
Wow, that is so, so cool. And Sophie, what do you think?
I remember that you said the ruby shoes, and before we would go on live, I took a card. Also, I said I don't have any card in my card that is about the veil, but the card that came up was the gates. So for me, there would be the veil, but in a truly sense. And with the ruby shoes, for me, this represents home, because when she claps her shoes in without a voice, it's really, there's no place like home. And she claps 3 times and then she's home. And this is my gates of home. So I think that there's something about also being really okay in your own body and in the present moment, mind and body really in the present moment. But there is also a lot of people that are talking about moving. So that could be an energy that is coming a lot, especially because we have the new year this month. What do you think, Meg? Do you see that a lot in consultation?
Yeah, for sure. This is an absolutely huge energetic shift this month. And even today, as we're talking today on March 7th, which it's March 8th for you, right, Silretta?
Yeah, it is. We're in the future here in Melbourne, Australia.
You're in the future. I'm in the past. Sophie's in the past. We're all on different continents right now. For those of you who may not know, right, Sophie's in Canada. I'm in Belgium at the moment, in Europe, and Silretta is in Australia. So that's so interesting too. We're like bridging all the time zones together. But today we're having a full moon in Virgo on the same day as Saturn entering Pisces. So today is a huge, huge energy shift. And I'm very curious how people are feeling. Our community in the comments, let us know, and how you guys are feeling about it as well, because Saturn has just come out of Aquarius for the past 2.5 to 3 years, which is one of its home signs. And we've seen Saturn in a very powerful position in one of his home signs. Saturn rules the governments and the power structures. And, we went into lockdowns. And we had a lot of authoritarianism come up around the world. And now with Saturn entering Pisces, this is a totally new energy that we're having for the next 2.5 years. And I'm seeing a lot of you guys in the comments saying, yeah, I need to ground. I'm feeling really ungrounded. That is a big part of, and it's funny, you guys are feeling that today, the first day of Saturn in Pisces, because Saturn is the most grounded planet and Pisces is the most ungrounded sign. Mm-hmm. So Saturn is not strong in Pisces. So everyone who thinks, oh no, we're going to be going into AI and the one world, government, it's like, that's not happening. we're past that now. They're going to be trying to, put in things like that, but it doesn't have strength. Saturn is no longer in a powerful position. We're going to be seeing this new earth energy. So it is a really powerful time, you guys, for, like I saw a comment here, I'm going to put up from Corner Pub Gamer, says, powerful month, use it, everyone, manifest. And that is so true. I really feel this energy of the veil lifting, us between the old earth and the new earth, and that this is a really once in a lifetime energy that we've got, where we can, whatever we're focusing on, we are going to manifest. So really not being in the fear and trusting that we are on the highest timeline available.
And
So,
plus, you did also the chart of the World Health Organization last week, and you said the same thing. They look really weak in their energy for this company. So, in a sense, not only we're entering this Saturn Pisces, but we are also fighting, if we want, an organization that has a big flaw in their chart. Correct?
yeah. Totally correct. And it's very interesting. Like you said, Sophie, you're totally spot on. It's not just the collective transits we're having, but when you actually look at like the astrology charts of Bill Gates, or like you said, Sophie, the World Health Organization, or even Justin Trudeau, Castro, like a lot of these guys have horrible astrology right now. It is like not in their favor. So I see 2023 and 2024 being really big years where we can timeline jump into that new earth, into the highest timeline available. I don't think it'll happen overnight. It's progress to get there, but we're in a really special energy, you guys, right now. So what are we feeling in particular with this full moon? So Loretta, what do you feel about this full moon today? What it means for the collective, what people might be feeling overall with this full moon in Virgo? What do you think?
Yeah, so I guess for me, like Virgo really is that sign for, the Virgin, for purity. For me, it's also part of, I guess I had the full moon yesterday, or started that full moon energy, but for me, this is like why I love to make alchemy potions too. And I saw a few questions. So I do have the alchemy potions coming out. We're still waiting on some of the design work and things. But this one's called I Am That Witch, which is kind of like an ode to High Priestess, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands energy, is about kind of imbuing and embracing that higher self energy so that you can show up as her. You can be fearless. You can be fierce. But, still, it's pink, it's magenta. So like, it's still got that heart energy and frequency to it. But things like that, for me, is like what I'm focused on with the Virgo energy. So it's also letting go of anything that's not of this energy that I want to take forward going into things. So I'm really working on manifestation for this Virgo full moon. And it's a lot about like surrender and release. Try not to be in this discrimination mindset that sometimes Virgo can get stuck in. And I always get this analogy from Spirit with Virgo, with how sometimes the mind can replay different scenarios, or we can overanalyze, or we can sort of think about things, but we don't often do the action. So they always show me a skipping rope, and it's like we're judging for like the perfect timing, and we're trying to like just wait, but it's like we actually really have to push ourselves to jump in and to commit and just do it. So I'm really looking at those areas of my life right now that might be echoing that, and just meditating and stepping into surrender and noticing when my mind is in that excess Virgo energy and just releasing into the Pisces.
Yeah, beautiful.
Which is, I forgot to say, it's more kind of like, that transcending energy. So I'm really just trying to transcend, not just in the mindset, but out of that old frequency. So I'm literally visualizing that new version of self and just stepping into her, which is what the potion's for.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to get one of your potions.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sophie, what are you feeling for the collective with this full moon?
So for the collective, I took cards. I have the blockage. So this is my card. Ooh, mirror. It's my card for the blockage, and underneath I have the blockage also with a 9 of Wands. So blockage on top of blockage. I think that where you have been stopped, where you have been blocked in the past, it's actually just being released now. There's something like you talked about the veil. The veil it was a blockage for many people in their 3D life. Maybe something was not accessible for them. And also, I do think that there is going to be soul contract that are going to start the new contract, new chapter of soul contract, because I have twin flame energy and the commitment with the Ace of Pentacles. And it has been a long time since we have been, starting this process of purging, removing people energy from our life and just finishing contract. I think we have new wands coming in. Doesn't need to be in love. This twin flame energy for me is not just about twin flame. It could be about any kind of contract where you feel a passion, where you feel not just in love, but where you feel a passion to go with. Maybe it can be good or bad. Maybe the passion is with triggers. Maybe you're going to be triggered to evolve, to learn new lessons, to go new challenge, new level, and in love also. But mainly it's going to bring you to this new phase in your life where it's going to make you force you sometimes to evolve and to just get better in certain area of your life where you may have been blocked by the past.
That's a beautiful message. And I feel like with this full moon in Virgo, it's such an interesting energy because we're in Pisces season right now, right? We've got the sun in Pisces, Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, in Pisces over the last few years and coming years, and now Saturn in Pisces. So there's so much Pisces energy. But this full moon in Virgo is like a kind of grounding, anchoring point, it feels like this week, for us to get grounded. Like you guys said, I really like that point that you brought up about, sorry, I forget if it was Sophie or Silretta, it might have been both of you, about that balance between our spiritual side and our physical side. And I don't know about you guys, but I notice that there is a belief in the spiritual community that we are just going to kind of ascend into this new earth and no longer have a physical body. And that doesn't really resonate with me. Does that, like, how do you guys feel about that theory, Silretta?
Well, I don't know if it's my Australian sense of humor, but the first thing that came to mind was sex. And I'm like, we're down here on earth to experience physical pleasure and food. Chocolate's probably the second thing that comes to mind. So yeah, we're down here to experience that. And even like my vision that I had through the week that I spoke about on the show Beyond Reality, just at lunchtime over in, I think that's the Canadian time zone. So yeah, what I've been seeing is, I guess, the reality of the physical earth, but it is much easier for like the astral realm to kind of come in when we are sitting around that 3D density. And, if our lower mind or lower chakras are kind of open to any, archonic energies or parasites and things like this, it makes it much easier to kind of pull us down. So I really do feel that we're sort of ascending up more in consciousness, but not leaving the physical body as such. But I do often see a lot more of, taking in foods that have like light body properties or what I call like superfoods. So like over here, we have amazing Australian native bush foods, but even things like sprouts, like broccoli sprouts are really high in nutrient density, but they also kind of like add light to the light body. So I do believe that like we are sort of going through this, the word spirit gives me, it's like a combination of ascension and kind of like transcending. So it's like transcendence or transcending is kind of like the feel. It's like an amalgamation of two different things. And so I do feel that we are building more and more capacity to hold this light that's coming in from the sun. So we are receiving codes. And this is why we're also seeing like a lot of people like myself getting sick. A month ago, Benny Kelly, other people, a lot of my clients as well, going to hospital and things at the moment. We are kind of like purging and releasing a lot of heavy physical side of things. But at the same time, we're stepping up those blocks that I was talking about in the last video, which was like these invisible stairs. So the trees are really helping at the moment to help hold us between both worlds as these new higher codes come in. So the trees are that conduit or the connection. And this is also like why we see, you know, in I think it's like places like Joshua Tree, here in Alice Springs in the center of Australia, those rocks that are just cut off that look like tree stumps and petrified wood. You know, we used to have these trees that kind of held the frequency of this realm that we're in. And I feel that that's what we're sort of gaining back, is that spiritual perception and a re-remembering of how it was to connect and be connected with not only the trees, but with each other and with nature and with spirit. So I still think we're going to be in physical, luckily getting to experience the physical pleasures that 3D has. I just wanted to say hello to a lot of my beautiful clients that are in the chat, and sending you guys love, and hello to our soul family that's here.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you, Solretta. I totally agree with that. Sophie, what do you feel about that?
Very similar, honestly, very similar. I think that we're going to be in this kind of the same boat, but we're going to have less and less limitation from it. So like people who are walking on fire, or people that are not eating or drinking for a lot of time, or just growing older without feeling the body growing older. I think we're going to just feel less and less limitation from the body, and also having more of the power of speaking mind to mind, not using the body limitation to speak or to think or to move things or to make us heal or make us move. So I think it's just about the body is not going to be the physical limit. It's just going to be the envelope, the what we have, but it's not going to be controlling us anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so true, like Silretta, what you said about, sex. That was the first thing that came to mind. It's like we have these physical bodies that I intuitively feel, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's such a gift to be here on Earth, that the type of body that we have here, I feel like we don't have in a lot of other realms or planets, and we can really experience, even though it can be dense for some of us that are starseeds or empaths, those experiences of the physical body.
Yeah.
The sex and the pleasure and even the pain, which can teach us so much. So I really feel like this full moon in Virgo rules our physical health and our physical maintenance and food and what we're eating and our routines. So I myself did make a personal dietary change within the past week, and I've been finding it a lot easier to do than normal, because in my astrology, I'm a Taurus rising. So Taurus rules food. So I love food, but it's been easy for me to make a change, which I'm doing to help balance my hormones. But yeah, I'm noticing a lot of people in the chat too saying dietary changes. They're feeling, a lot of people saying having a lot of fruits and vegetables is what they're feeling called to have right now. So it's really important for us to listen to what our bodies want, and we're all so unique, right, in our beautiful physical bodies. And certain things that work for some of us don't necessarily work for, other people. So could we maybe give everybody a little bit of guidance on how we can tune in with this full moon in Virgo to what works for us personally in our physical routines or dietary routines? And because I know we like to look out into the world, our egos are programmed to look out into, okay, those people over there are doing vegan, or those people over there are doing keto. And we do those things because other people are doing it. But what would you say is some good guidance on how people can tune into what is best for their own body? What do you feel, Sophie?
Oh, me first? Okay, I will dive in. So for food, I think you really have to listen and to just test it. For myself, I know I learned with time, with years, that blood type can sometimes indicate what you should eat or not. When I turned 18 or 19, I had to stop eating meat because I was physically every night because of it. So I had to, and I didn't want to at first, but I had to. And other people that want to stop eating meat, for example, that are type O cannot. So it's not going to be fitting everybody, but that is sometimes a good indication. Otherwise, just listen to your body reaction. If you're not feeling good after testing some things, just really take the time to ask yourself, okay, so what did I change, and how can I just change it in a way that I feel good about it, and give it enough time that you feel that change. But with this full moon in Virgo particularly, I think it's just really feeling how, scanning your body. I think right now with Pisces and Virgo, it's the best timing to really feel what is going on inside, mentally, physically, and what is wrong, what is not there, especially nervous system right now, especially that. If you're really stressed, scan your body, relax the muscles. I know it's not just about food, but nervous system with Pisces and Virgo, I think that it's really something that we have to look for. We have to look, am I stressed right now? Do I have a tense jaw? Do I have the belly, is it tense? Also, just relax it, and just to tell your nervous system to calm. It's going to help also with food and also with your routine. What do you think?
Thank you. Yeah. Loretta, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Sophie, and went through a similar transition with meat years ago. So I'm vegan, but I also understand from my background in natural medicine that it doesn't necessarily suit everyone. So I'm actually one of those weird, freaky exceptions that I'm O positive. So my body actually doesn't digest and break down the meat protein to absorb the amino acids. So I actually do better on a vegan diet with high greens. But I noticed the difference in my energy and not needing as much sleep. And it's funny because with this Virgo full moon, like leading up to it the week before, it's like spirit has been just saying you need to do like more green juice again, more alkaline smoothies. And I can feel kind of this puffiness because I'll feel like inflammation if there's more oil in my diet. So from my background, I used to work a lot as a kinesiologist with food allergies, especially with children. And I developed a range of probiotics and things like that. So I'm like obsessed with really looking at the microbiome and, gut health, and looking at like where we can kind of nurture that microcosm. And so that's why I really think, adding the superfoods and things that are nutrient dense, or things like sea moss and everything that sort of has those little amino acids, whether it's like amaranth or quinoa. So yeah, I really do believe like more of an alkaline diet helps us to reduce disease, inflammation, any of the, I guess, the building blocks of the unhealthy side of things. So yeah, I really feel moved to have more greens, and a little bit of a weird craving this week for wheatgrass juice. So I haven't had it yet, but there's just something that I feel like I need with that kind of like green grass energy. And I had a vision of like this giant field of grass earlier this week as well. So maybe it's spirit just saying, about the wheatgrass. But I think so much of like our modern day diet and nutrition is more about absorption. So I think where we're going to be seeing like the future of medicine and things go will be more on enzymes. So right now it's like on absorption and things, but the enzymes are the things that will help us to break down, to utilize the nutrition, to be able to absorb it. Because I think that it's not just what we eat, you are what you eat, but it's actually what we absorb is truly like what we are. So, whether it's sunlight, clean water, minerals, all of these things are super important. So like as much as you can nourish your body. And I always say, with working, especially with food allergies, it's not for my clients to be like, oh, we need to take this away or take this away. It's actually about adding the food in. And when you start to add the food in, sometimes you will no longer crave some of the things. And a lot of the time it's the parasites and that within us that are craving these things and will trigger like little emotional things like, you need a coffee, or, you need to have some like fast food or things like this. So sometimes it will be parasites that are sort of swaying us towards certain choices, certain directions, even certain emotional patterns and addictions. So yeah, if we can treat parasites, look into absorption issues, and look into getting like the digestive system in operation again. That's kind of what I feel at the moment.
That's very cool. It's so interesting how all of our bodies are really unique, because so are both of you guys vegan right now or vegetarian?
No, I'm vegetarian.
Sophie, you're vegetarian, so Loretta, you're vegan. Yeah. So I was vegan for 12 years, like completely vegan. And then literally 2 weeks before the pandemic started, I started craving salmon.
Wow.
And I never had any cravings for like 12, 13 years. I was like hardcore vegan. I also had a belief that I wasn't spiritual if I ate meat or animal products. But when I started getting those cravings again, and this is just me personally, you guys, I'm just, sharing my personal story. I'm not shaming anyone or anything. But when I started to eat meat and fish and dairy again, I got way more grounded. And I realized how ungrounded I had been for the past like 12 years. So we've all got our own personal, blood types as well, like you guys were talking about. And I don't know what my blood type is, but that's definitely something that I should get checked out. But yeah, listening to what we're feeling from our own body, I'm really feeling that with this full moon in Virgo. And it's a really good time to make any changes, whether that's to our diet or to our personal routine. Virgo is also organization, right? And planning ahead. So even though it is a full moon, I am feeling like this energy of newness. And maybe that's because we're getting really close to the spring equinox.
But wait, before we change the topic, is there any indication in your natal chart about what you should eat?
About what you should eat?
Yes, like I know Virgo is a sign of, a lot of the time Virgos are really particular about what they eat. They are usually not eating meat, but is there an indication in your natal chart that can tell you what you should or should not eat?
Mm-hmm.
Is there such a thing?
I think there would be several things that you could look at. I think there's several different factors. The second house in astrology, is the house of Taurus, and Taurus rules food. So depending on what you've got going on in your second house, that could tell you maybe you need a lot of food to feel full, or a lot of a certain food to feel full or nourished. Everything in life is ruled by an astrological sign. So you guys can even look up anytime, astrology sign associated with these vegetables or this meat or whatever. So the second house is something really important to look at. Also the sixth house of Virgo, because Virgo rules our health and our physical maintenance. So I have personally like a Virgo stellium in my birth chart. So I find people who have Virgo stelliums are really sensitive to energies physically, whether that's in your sixth house or Virgo, and we can maybe get sick sometimes easier, or just are more energetically sensitive with our body. So, being careful what you eat. There's some signs that can just eat anything and feel fine. And then there's other ones that are a bit more energetically sensitive. So that's a good question, Sophie. I think it's a complex one, but I would say look at your second house, what's going on, and look at your sixth house and what's going on, and what would be foods and herbs associated with those planets and the signs that they're in those houses. So yeah, before we go further, you guys, I want to mention that me, Sophie, and Silretta are all offering personal consultations. So I'm offering personal astrology consultations at the moment. If you'd like to get a more in-depth look at your astrology, whether it's for your year ahead, I'm doing personal 1 year ahead forecasts with astrological transits, and also birth chart analysis readings. So those are available at maisonjupiter.com. And Sophie, Magical Sophie, is also doing intuitive tarot readings, psychic readings, and she's amazing at that. So if you haven't had a reading with Sophie yet, definitely check that out on maisonjupiter.com. And we've got a 10% off discount code for our personal consultations for everybody that watches this show, and that is BeyondMystic, the discount code to get 10% off. And also Silretta has very magical offerings as well. Silretta, do you want to talk a little bit about what your sessions are like for those who may not know?
Yeah, so I'll just grab one of my organoids.
And this is on solretta.com, by the way.
Thanks,
right?
Meg. Yeah. So with the aura drawings that I do, that's how I start a session. So I'll have a look at my client, and being clairvoyant, since birth, I always look into the colors that are around people. So color for me is a language. So when I feel into it, and I look into if it's in the etheric part of the body or mental, emotional, astral, spiritual, it kind of gives an insight into what colors are sitting in what body, as to like what's coming up for someone, if it's past life energy, or a skill or a gift or talent that wants to be downloaded, or a past life that wants to be cleared, so that we can kind of tap back into different skills or into more empowerment energy. So you can see this one has a lot going on. But yeah, like various different energies around at the moment. Even like this one's very different. There was like a lot of code, almost like light language, and some golden like little orb beings. So I do draw in spirit guides and things as well, if they're coming up or if someone's interested in that side of things. And yeah, Carla's so gorgeous. We had a beautiful session together, as I did with some of my other clients. But so we start with the aura drawing, and then Spirit likes to kind of describe and talk about it and talk about what's coming up in future, because what I sort of see on the left-hand side of someone is more connected to the intuition, to the inner side of who they are, and a lot to the feminine too, whereas the right-hand side is more kind of the future things that we're starting to call in. And it's funny because sometimes it'll be in the subconscious what we're calling in, and you can see it in the aura. And then when we talk about it, you're able to kind of like action it and tap more into that quantum energy, because our aura is our quantum field. So when we're manifesting, we're literally tapping into the quantum field and pulling it into the physical. So the physical is always the last place for something to show up, whether it's to do with manifestation or like illness and disease and things. It usually happens in the divine template first. So yeah, we talk about what Spirit says on the aura, then we pick some tarot cards, and I read them with psychometry. So I feel into them, then we flip them over to confirm. So yeah, I kind of work on all different areas with readings, whether it's, relationships, career, the cosmic mystic realm, which I kind of specialize in, and like the ascension path.
Amazing. Very, very cool. I will have to book a session with you sometime. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm kind of feeling, and let me know what you ladies are feeling, like this is such a powerful day today with this full moon in Virgo and Saturn entering a new sign, and our veils are all being lifted, and we're in between these two earths. We're choosing what timelines we want to go on. Would you guys feel like maybe doing some kind of visualization that we can offer to everybody to maybe help? What do you feel like would be a good intention? Maybe lifting the veils, lifting any blockages that may be holding us back from seeing through the veil, or what are you guys feeling? Sophie?
I think that we should maybe
practice.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, it's like a visualization or cleansing practice because it's a full moon.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should connect with the source and purge at the same time. So connect root and crown to get in the download and to get out what we need to get out. What do you think, Solretta?
I just picked a card, and yeah, I agree. 3 of Cups. And the vision that I've been having, and even the little video I did just before this one too, there's a lot of light language codes coming in to upgrade at the moment too. So I can always do like a little bit of light language, and can tap into, like, if you maybe want to do a bit of a meditation, you girls, then I can do some light language to kind of flow onto that and then translate into English.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how about I let you guys lead it and I'll hold space, and just kind of, we'll just go with the flow with that intention of releasing anything that needs to be purged and lifting the veils that, so we can see past the veils and step into that new earth energy. How does that sound, you guys?
Sure.
Yeah,
do you want to lead, Solretta?
Cool.
Oh, sorry, what was that, Sophie?
Would you like to lead the meditation?
Oh, did you want to do the meditation part like you did last week? That was beautiful. And then I'll do some light language after.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so everyone that wants to join, you're welcome to join. Just sit comfortably, both feet on the ground, and close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. I would like to start with deep breath in and out, connecting to the source first. So I would like you to be really having a straight back, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, and really, really focusing your mind, your energy to the crown chakra, the purple energy on top of your head. Send that arrow of light right through the universe. No need to see an end. Just put that, oh, we have a train passing. This is a good sign. Just shoot straight that arrow of purple light from the top of your head to the universe. No end. And through that channel, the connection with the divine that has no end, the infinity, is connecting more and more. And your body is relaxing more and more. And with that connection that is made, you can feel that receiving information from the source, pure information, is easier. You're simply connected. Deep breath in and out. And now that this beautiful connection is made, you turn your focus, your attention, and your energy. You focus on both your feet that are on the ground. And you send an arrow of energy, of light, right to the center of the ground. With no end, just infinity. And deep roots are being made. No end. With that connection, you are now connected to the ground. And everything that you want to purge is being released through that. You can see dark smoke leaving your ears, just being transmuted, transformed, and return to the source, going down. Yeah, we have the trine energy. That's good. Energy is moving. Deep breath in and out. Perfect. We have a clear signal that everything is moving. Thank you for anyone joining us.
That was so beautiful. It just felt delicious. It's hard to describe it. So with the light language, because Sophie set up such a beautiful, calm, beautiful space, I'm just going to speak it, and then we'll just notice how you feel. Notice how the language kind of lands in your aura, in your body, in your mind, your emotions. Some people might receive colors or downloads or feelings or tingles, or even like a wavering of energy back and forth. So yeah, just take note, and then we'll translate into English. So if everyone wants to close their eyes again, and we'll just start to tune in. Mianara ko nara to ko sonara ta kayo nar. Alanayara ta kayo hara ta kasona ha ta kara. Maanara to kayar no harasonara ta hala. Alo shoyana har ta kayo nara to hara. Mushayana ta kayo hala ta kasanaro. Mananar no har ta kala. Ala shonara ta kaya nahato. Alano nara to ko sonara to kurina. Mahano haratukala naratakayase. Yasha naratukal naratakale. Ala naratakal no hatakara. Myasha yanaratukal naradi. Yala naratako yarasutarana. Mahalananaratoko sonohata. Ayonaratokuyanaratocara. So what I saw and felt with that, if I'm to translate and try and put it into English, because it's kind of multidimensional, what I saw was the trees that we were talking about with before in that older kind of experience or reality, which was really coexisting in the here and now. So it was as though those giant trees never left us, that connected, the heavens to the earth, or were kind of like the spiritual mothers. Think about like the trees and Avatar. So I was feeling that kind of energy around that spiritual mother frequency. And there was this memory of that they've never left, the consciousness of these higher advanced dimensional beings or multidimensional beings has never left. And it was almost like as if our gifts, our kind of like soul community connectedness has never left. It's almost as if we're kind of like absorbing and feeling back into that space that's always been here with us all along, but it's almost like this veil of forgetfulness that fell upon us. So they're just encouraging and supporting, and I just felt this wisdom of these beautiful light beings that were standing behind us and with us. And I feel that there's so much more to kind of unpack, but a lot of it is kind of sitting within the subconscious. So just noticing like your dreams, messages, and guidance that you get through the week, I feel is what Spirit's also guiding us to look into.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. That was so, so beautiful. And wow, I just started getting altered from that high frequency. And that train was so cool. I felt like what you said, Sophie, that train was like not only a sign of confirmation, but showing us that we're moving forward, and we're moving forward quickly into this new timeline, into this beautiful new world. So that was such a cool energy. And I was also feeling a personal message I got in that was how far we have all come, in particularly in the past 3 years, how strong all of us are, that we are really stronger than we can even realize in our human, brain, our human self. And we are all just so, so strong and so, so loved. And things are going to get better after we're in this, intense time of transition. So cool. Anything else you guys want to add about that beautiful practice that we just did? People are loving it in the comments. Sophie?
No. So Retta, when you were doing your activation, I saw a dolphin. I think they're really evolved. So I didn't know what it was about, but I just let that go. So I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but that's what I saw.
Well, the dolphins are connected to Sirius, and like a big part of, I guess, my star origin is connected with Sirius as well. So sometimes it'll be like if you see the dolphins, it's that you might also have that spiritual or that star lineage within you as well. And it was on Sirius that we had these beautiful temples that were sort of situated, almost looking like, the Asian temples that you see with the roof and the kind of roof line that you see. But we had these pools of water that we would look into, and the oracles would actually sit and look into the pools of water. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised that you had a dolphin come up, Sophie, especially like with the connection with the three of us. And I saw JC in the chat. So, hey, JC, lovely for you to join us too.
Yeah. And yeah, JC has just put, don't forget the full moon meditations tomorrow, the full moon meditation, not the full meditation. And so that's on BeyondMystic.Academy. There's going to be a beautiful full moon meditation with Elena and Janine tomorrow. And yeah, if anybody has any super chats, any questions that you would like to have Solretta and Sophie intuitively answer, now is the time before we finish up this show this evening. And do you guys feel like getting to a super chat? We do have one question, if you guys feel like answering it.
Yes.
So this one comes from Mandy May. She says, hi, just wondering how my next upcoming year will be. My B-Day is April 20th, 1978. Taurus, Sun, Libra, Moon, Virgo rising. So we can all answer, but who wants to start? Maybe Solretta?
Yeah, I'm just shuffling my cards. So let's have a look. So I'm just tuning into your energy, and I can just feel this beautiful energy around the top of crown chakra. The other thing that I'm seeing is like an emerald light. So sometimes when I see an emerald light or like an emerald, it's almost like a faceted gemstone is what I'm seeing above Mandy's head. So sometimes when we see this, it'll be that there's a lot of like channeled information or downloading or writing to be done. So I definitely would be focused on journaling, or if you even feel that there's information that you need to have come through you to kind of tap into that through this upcoming year. So I'm just picking some cards, and I've got a few cards here. So I'll just feel into these before we flip them over. It's interesting. I can still feel the activation energy that we were just working with still resonating and vibrating. So I also feel that there'll be like a lot more kind of unfoldment with psychic gifts and things for you as well, Mandy, with this coming year, because my crown chakra is tingling like crazy when I run my hand over the cards. So definitely pay attention to if you are getting kind of downloads. Another way that I like to, I guess, help tap into that gifts. So when I'm teaching about like activating the psychic senses, one way you can kind of trigger that channeled energy is to write a question with your dominant hand, and then to answer the question with a pen or a pencil with your non-dominant. So say if you're right-handed, what that'll do is sort of your conscious mind will be activated, but when you answer with the left, you're tapping into subconscious or into that channeled frequency. So that might help to kind of kickstart things as well. But I'll flip the cards over. Oh my gosh. This is my card to represent channeling and downloading of information. So definitely pay attention to that, because that's when spirit shows us something and we get the full body feeling and we see it within the aura. So I go by like all threes. You see it within the aura, spirit says it, and then you get the cards. And it's the high priestess. So you're actually re-remembering a gift that you've had in a different lifetime. What we're also seeing is perhaps the shedding and letting go of different things at the moment. So there could be some things that are no longer within vibrational alignment that you could be moving out of. I feel just to kind of give you that extra love and support and really kind of like gently hold heart chakra. I kind of want to put like a blanket around it and bubble wrap it. But I do feel that like when you do make the changes and you do move out of things that are no longer in alignment, you'll actually be moving forward to more creating like your 5D. So we see here with this Taurus energy, we have the sphere, which to me represents more that fifth dimension. Oh, and we see inside is the cube, which is 3D reality. So it definitely is more focused on what you actually want to head towards rather than like what you don't want. So be like super strong, like in your mind to kind of just go, no, this is what I want to have happen. So yeah, definitely journaling. So yeah, that's what I get. Thanks, Mandy.
Well, thank you, Silretta. And Sophie, do you have anything to add for Mandy?
Yes, I have repair, patch it up, repair, and I have, in fact, 3 times back to balance. So I have my Oracle deck right there that is giving me the card of justice. I have the justice card, and I have back to balance with this little balance right there. So I want to say if you have been healed, or if you have been under any stress about your health, don't be, because it's all going to be back to balance. I see a lot of healing and a restoration about your karma also. So restoration about your karma, somebody did something really wrong to you, and this person may just have repercussion on their own, or you may hear from that person again and actually make wrongs right this time, not you, but them in your life. So there is something about unconditional love, restoration. I feel this year you're going to have a lot of things that are just going to finally make sense, finally just being more the good side is winning. Finally, truth will prevail, and back to healing. So I think that this past year may have been challenging, but this year it's going to be more fair and easier for you.
Amazing. Thank you, Sophie. And Mandy, astrologically, you have something extremely cool coming up for your next birthday, because April 20th, I can see 1978 is your birthday, your birth date. And April 20th, 2023, in just over a month, we're going to be having a new moon solar eclipse right on your birthday. So you're going to be having what we call eclipse solar return. And a solar return is basically the astrological word for our birthday. It's when the sun comes back into the exact same position as when we were born. So your whole next year from April 20th, 2023 to April 19th, 2024 is going to be the energy of the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So this is extremely positive. This is extreme new beginnings, life changes. You can harness this energy to really manifest what you want. And Aries is all about bravery and self-empowerment. So if there have been some things like the lovely ladies were talking about that have maybe been hard in the past little while, it's that Aries energy of going into just enjoying life and letting go of anything that has been holding us back. So that is super exciting, Mandy. Happy almost birthday and solar return. Okay, hope you enjoyed those messages from us. And we've got another super chat from Corey Jade. She says, wondering what my next 12 months has in store. November 23rd, 1992, I'm assuming that's her birthday. I'm a Sag Sun, Scorpio Moon, Virgo rising. So let's maybe go through each of us again. Solretta, what are you feeling for Corey for the next 12 months? What's in store for her?
Yeah. Let me just tune in. It's interesting. There's so much crown chakra energy still from that attunement. And I saw someone in the chat saying how they can feel the energy of the show just sort of vibrating and going out, which is so true. You can feel it's like an echo that's being sent out. So I'm picking some cards. One fell out already, upside down in reverse. So 8 of Cups in reverse. So there could be some things that like you're purging and letting go of, or things that just kind of are clearly like releasing is what I'm also seeing. And for me, an 8 of Cups kind of represents that feeling of like stuck. And it's like an emotional kind of crossroad, or like where you try every which way to make a decision. And it feels like it's just so hard because there's so much emotional charge around it. So you might have like a clearer direction open up. And so we'll just pick some other cards and feel into it. But yeah, I see like a wide open crown chakra energy just after that meditation. And I'm seeing like a lot of gold around your aura. So I definitely would be focused more on meditation for this next 12 months. I feel that there's a lot of, the word Spirit's giving me is discoordinate. Yeah, is that a word? Discoordinate energy that's being purged and clear. When you meditate, you're actually vibrating into a much higher alignment with your higher self, which is actually clearing and purging the pathway for more things to come through. So just feel into this. So the other thing that I'm also seeing, I'm hearing the word sublime, and I'm also even seeing this past life energy come up. I keep seeing it's like feet or tail even within water. And I'm seeing like long hair. There's a lot of mermaid energy that's been coming up the past few months. So we have like mermaid realms and mermaid multidimensional places and lifetimes that are kind of working with us in the earth realm side of things at the moment too. So that version of self is wanting to kind of like tap in to start to explore like the emotional, how would I say? It's like our emotional intelligence. So there's a lot more about learning about self that's going to come up this year, and learning like what it is that you want, and not about people pleasing and doing things for other people. It'll be a year to kind of put yourself first. Now we can do that 2 ways, is the way spirits that are showing. We can do it through alignment with self and really knowing like you are worthy and deserving, or we can do it through having the harder lessons and then being like, oh, well, that didn't really feel good. And I guess it's to not sort of cycle and repeat. So I'll just flip these cards over. So it could be like around relationships and things. We could see some changes. Here we have Prince of Wands as well. So for me, this is Leo kind of energy, and it's that frequency of really kind of like leading from that space of the heart. And with this, we see that he's in the Chariot. There's a lot of Phoenix energy with this too. So I would say this is reinventing yourself. We have 4 of Wands, which is kind of that spiritual marriage card. It's Aries and Venus. And what we see with this 4 of Wands too, is this is also called the card of completion. Now, what's interesting is we have the Tower card. So where I said before that we could have, some things kind of showed themselves. Yeah, it's interesting energy. But what I love about the Tower card, this is one of my favorite aspects. This little symbol down here is called Pe in Hebrew, and it represents that our words are as precious as gold. So really focus on what it is you speak, you create into the world. So work out what this Eight of Cups energy that may have been holding back could be. And it could be your own mindset, your own values and things like around love, around relationships and connections. I also feel this is more time for your higher self to kind of come in. You're more stepping into who you are. But yeah, it could be a bit of a purging.
Mm. We're all using that word so much, the purging. Loretta, that's wonderful. And
Thanks.
Sophie, what do you feel anything for Corey?
Yeah, absolutely. But you had the same cards, I think, because I have reinvention.
Oh, wow.
So what I have is, in fact, reinvention in the Nine of Pentacles that goes underneath. So this is the independence. So either in love or in the business. So if you are not, if you're still in the matrix and you don't have your own business, this may be the year where you are creating your own business. It says surrender, let go, trust the divine, and have courage. And this is a card of learning. So either way, if it's love or it's work, it can be both also. This year is all about finding your own ground and be self-reliant, self-sufficient, and really trusting in letting go. And there's no mistakes on why you asked this today, because we have the purge, the full moon Virgo, and in the Pisces season, it's all about trusting the divine and letting go of the control. The last thing is about, you mentioned, Soretta, about affirmation, how you want to manifest using your words. Well, I have King of Swords, and the card that goes with it is, I will show you in the right side. It says don't, it says no, but it was reverse. So I think that when you manifest, when you speak to yourself in your own mind, what you want to have in the future, you may be using the negative words. So you may be saying, I don't want this, or I don't want that. Just pay attention to the words that you're manifesting, because we want you to be in the affirmation and not in the, I don't want this. You can manifest easier. I know it depends on your moon, but let's not go into details about manifestation. I think you should really pay attention to what you have in your mind as your own thought process. And maybe if it's not something that you like, using affirmation, or if it's too much of a challenge to really control your thought process, use Feng Shui just to manifest easier. That way you release the control, it's going to manifest itself in the house.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sophie. And Corey, lastly, just astrologically, I want to say congratulations to you, because you just completed your first Saturn return. You are a 1992 baby like me, and today with Saturn going into Pisces, he's left our Saturn sign of Aquarius. So congratulations, Corey. You've completed your first Saturn return, and so this year you're going to be feeling definitely a lot lighter. If it's been feeling heavy the past few years, that could have a lot to do with the fact that you've been going through that first Saturn return initiation. So thank you so much for the super chat, and I hope you enjoyed all those messages. And let's see, we've got a few more here.
I just wanted to add, I saw Corey said in the comment section that she said, my wife calls me a mermaid, lol, as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. And I also just want to bring up, JC is in the chat. Hey, GC. And he says, Penny Kelly sent me a recent email thanking all the Beyond Mystic family for our loving and healing meditation during her surgery. She's very grateful. Thank you so much, JC, for that message. And we're all sending lots of love to Penny Kelly during this time for sure. And it's nice to hear that she's doing well. So awesome. So, okay. So Barbarella asks, can I get summer cards, please? So this is a cards question. Let's see what summer cards we get for Barbarella. So Loretta, you want to go first?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So the first place that I feel like into my body is a lot of heart chakra energy. And what's interesting, like when we look at, I guess, the cards that we've done for everyone so far, I keep getting taken to body centers. So with what you girls were saying earlier, with, you know, really feeling into your body and your body knowing like what nutrition we need and kind of like what we need to, I guess, let go of and release, or what we need to take in, I'm really feeling that as a strong collective message that's coming up. As I'm talking about the cards, we've got 4 here that are just on my desk. And you guys know I like to read face down. But what I also feel is a lot of throat chakra energy. So it's going to be really important to kind of like express your heart's desires, what it is that makes you happy. I also do feel that it is a little bit about just learning to speak up and to put yourself first, because I feel that you're so empathic. You give so much to everyone else. And I almost feel like it's like there's not so much gas left in the tank. So just to make sure that like you give yourself that extra little bit, or that you kind of charge things up. I feel that it's not about waiting for others as well. So we'll have a look into the cards. And I see like a lot of fire energy come in, and I do see the sun, which I guess we're reading for, you know, summer energy. But I really feel that if you can like take this in, the word they give me is transformation with this. If you choose transformation, you will get transformation, is the words that I heard Spirit say. So we'll flip these over. Oh my gosh.
My goodness.
I love it. This is why I love to read them upside down. So we then have love. So it's totally about heart chakra energy, connection, communication. This is Venus and Cancerian energy. And let's have a look. Oh, strength and success. So 9 of Wands, 6 of Discs. So there might be like a little bit of the word trepidation comes up from Spirit, which is not a word that I would usually use like within my own English vocabulary. I really just hear different words sometimes for specific people. But yeah, with this, there's a lot of transformation, trepidation in regards to more feeling that you're pulled towards someone else's vision, or that you feel that you have to do something, or that they expect. It's all about expectations. So really sort of like pull back from other people's expectations. What is it that you desire? But yeah, I really feel as well like to speak up in regards to love, in regards to kind of like relationships and things too, whether this is like romantic or, you know, even in regards to self. Just feels like at the moment it's so important to speak kindly to yourself and to speak lovingly. I'm just seeing that little purse symbol that we had on the Tower card come up before. But yeah, I mean, this is beautiful energy with these, and 9 of Wands and success as well, 6 of Discs.
Yay. Thank you, Silretta. Sophie, what do you feel for Barbarella for her summer card messages?
9 of Wands, the strength. Definitely you are going to, through the next month, so not right now, I think it's going to be a transformation and you're going to go through it gradually. But right now you have compromise, and it's, for me, it's really at work, or what you do with your energy, with your motivation. So if it's not work where you put your mind, your energy, your time, this is everywhere else that you put it. But otherwise, normally it's through work. This feels very Capricorn energy for me. Even when you were talking and I did the cards, I was like, okay, this is Capricorn energy big time. You right now have the energy of the Queen of Wands, but you are, yes, I do feel the exhaustion. I have the 9 of Wands. So I do feel the exhaustion. It's like you are compromising so much that you are actually putting more effort to complete the task, because you have to delay things. You have to take in more compromise. And what I have is you leaving this compromise and being in the energy of the King of Wands. So more of a leader role. I don't think you're meant to have, I don't think you're meant to have this compromise staying in your energy, because it will drain you so much that it will teach you the lesson. It's either you resist to it and you can risk to really being drained and delayed and not seeing clearly the result, or you can step into your power and lead in the future.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sophie. And thank you, Barbarella, for the super chat. Hope you enjoyed those beautiful, magical messages. And let's see, we've got a couple more super chats here. We've got one from James. He says, there is a lot happening with energies with me. I hate going to work. I get attacked with a wave of negative energies once I hit the gate. What can I do to protect and increase positive energies? Aquarius sun, Virgo rising, Scorpio moon. Do you want to start, Sophie?
Yes, sure. I was on mute. There's a lot of train tonight, so a lot of energy. Let's see. I apologize for that, but I think it's just messages for us. James. Okay, yeah, your heart is not in there anymore. Wow, Barbarella.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Your heart is really not in there anymore. So let's see. Oh, no, that's not the right deck for you today. This one. That's why. Conflicted, Knight of Wands also with you, with work. So conflict. Let's see what is coming for you. But so far, you're done with it. So I will have to say that there is a new chapter coming in for you at your work. I don't know what you're doing. I think that you were really trying to hang on to that work. I think you're really trying to stay committed, loyal to that place. And I'm trying to see if you had, if you said something about that. No, okay. I will try to check what is coming next for you because I don't think that you really wanted to leave. We have a Death card. So you will have a choice to leave or to stay. But for you, I think that there is a moving forward coming in. There's two offers. So you're going to really go back and forth with that idea. Do I leave? Do I stay? It's not about how to stay right now. It's really about what do you really want for the future? Because we have the Lovers, which is the choice with your heart, and we have the Chariot and the Death card. So whatever choice you're going to make, it's going to tell you for a really long time, the next chapter of your life at work, what it's going to be about. And if you choose to go, let me just take one card. If you choose to go to that other place, yeah, we have the World. It's going to make you a person that is more satisfied with life, that knows more. So you're going to learn more, that has better contact with people around you. I'm not sure it's going to be physically outside of your house, the next place. So just maybe look into that kind of stuff if you like it. If you stay, let's take a card. You're not going to like it if you stay. This is the cup of opportunity. You're always going to wonder what would happen if I did take that other cup. And what is really funny is that with the card of leaving, we had that Ace of Cup. So you have to take it. I think you really have to start something new because you're always going to wonder and you're always going to be in that energy of, I'm not sure that's my place.
Thank you, Sophie. And thank you, James. Silretta, do you have anything to add for James?
Yeah, and this is so much fun. I love like the confirmation as a reader, like reading with you girls, because look at the cards that I had fall out. So I've got some that are face down, but these two popped out face up. So it's the Prince of Cups with the Devil. So the Prince of Cups for me is really like, you know, that heart investment, like you give your all, is what I sort of see like with the work, and that you really do try and you bring this energy of wanting to make the workplace a better space. The Prince of Cups for me is kind of like a shaman that has a foot in each world. So it's like you're trying to live and exist and do things in the 3D, but you're built in this connection to spirit and to, you know, things having meaning, trying to make understanding of that. But sometimes when we're trying to make understanding of things that just don't feel right, it really is hard because we just keep butting our head against this devil energy. Now, what I kept feeling was you can continue on and to dive into things that make you feel uncomfortable and really, you know, drag you into that frequency. but it's not going to make it disappear. So it will be like how Sophie was saying, like, you get to make the choice or the decision. So I'll just feel into these 3 cards before we flip them over. I actually see like a lot of green open up. So I do feel it is more of a decision of following your heart. But I'm seeing this image of spirit show me, it's like hold a big breath and like jump into the water. So it feels like there's no footing when you make this change and when you make this shift. I just saw like all this light up around Sophie's head. There was all this beautiful, like, orbing of an aura color of like green and white and gold as we said that. So, but yeah, I feel that it really is, you have like that choice, that decision. So we'll flip the cards over and here we go. Here's the Knight of Cups, kind of, there's 2 realities in this card as well. We see the peacock, which represents kind of like the higher spiritual ideals and kind of that veil of like, what's that possibility on the other side for me? But we see here it's Cancerian energy and it's Archangel Michael in the green chakra heart armor. So that green that I felt and make that decision and choice is totally here in the card. And look at this, the Emperor. It ends up being a better financial decision in the end. His old Jupiter Aries energy. And with Aries, they're the first one out the gate. If we're looking at a horse race, they're the first one to get going. They don't often have someone else to kind of like follow. So this is about you coming into your own inner leadership. And we definitely see like better financial side of things with 9 of disc or 9 of pentacles or coins, which is the card of gain. Now, what's interesting is this is Virgo energy with Venus. Follow your heart, especially at this point in time with the Virgo energy that we've got at the full moon too. I would even just start to write down a list of like, what does my heart desire? And really like a pros and cons list from staying in the job. So your logical mind can look at it and then look at like, what is it that I could be opening myself towards as well? Because I also feel like it's a lot of people and the vibration and density and heaviness and kind of like negativity of the workplace that's not vibing with you. So it would kind of be like, if I could just sort of like do the job, but I didn't have to deal with the negativity in that. So as advice, I would also say, whilst you are there, or if you still have to be there a bit longer, shield and protect.
Amazing. Thank you. And thank you so much, James, for the super chat. JC has put in the comments, and I pinned it here, the link for everyone asking where you can do a super chat or the tip jar. And I think we've got one more for right now. So let's see. This one is from Lily P. Hi, my name is Lily. My birthday is December 18th, 1966. How will the rest of the year turn out for me and my family? So let's see what we get for Lily. And Sophie, let's start with you.
Okay, let's see. Half of my oracle deck just fell on the floor on the beginning of the show, so I'm trying to pick it up. But yeah, we'll go with the cards that are there. There's meant to be. Okay. Interesting. So we have the house underneath the deck. So you may want to either change something in your house, or you're wondering, do I going to stay here? Do I move? Do I change something? There's a lot of change around the house. I don't know if it's actual change of the house itself or inside. Let me check. No, I think there's going to be a movement. I have letting go with the house. So I think there's going to be a letting go of the house. It may not be the physical leaving the house, but I think it's going to be the progression of wanting to go. So something is going to gradually appear that you may want some change. You may want to start fresh somewhere else. And yes, we have the Magician in the spring energy. So yes, something is going to manifest and just gain some territory in your mind where it may be just from time to time in the beginning, and then more and more gradually. Also, what I have here is that you're trying to learn how to be more in the energy of the spirituality. So we have Independence with Lady Miss Crawley, and we have Eight of Pentacles. So I think that you are trying to learn from multiple places. Maybe you are part of the tarot course, maybe you are part of past life course, maybe you are part of other workshop. I see you really working on yourself, and you're really trying to develop gift and tools. And this is really strong for you because we have receiving the card of Lady Miss Crawley. It says femininity. So this is the intuition, receiving, and independence. So you're trying to do the work by yourself. You're trying to develop it instead of maybe going for someone I will tell you. And not that it's bad, but I see that you're trying to be self-sufficient. And yeah, do the work yourself. Ace of Wands. It's something that you were challenged maybe with in the past, that you always wonder, do I have the gift? Do I have something that is really worth a shot of investing time and money into it? And yes, you do have gift. And yes, you're going to really be able to work with those gifts and with those tools. So this is really good. I think it's going to be a fun change for you, where not only the house, but also the universe going to speak to you directly.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sophie. And Silretta, do you have anything to add for Lily?
Yeah, so when her beautiful photo popped up and just feeling into her energy, I just kept hearing Spirit say, angel on earth, like over and over. Like it was listening to a record that was kind of like stuck, which is weird because like that's sort of before my time. But, you know, I just kept seeing it was like this same message over and over. So I do feel that you have a gift when it comes to healing as well, and kind of tapping into the intuitive art. So like what Sophie was saying was, it just to me like felt really spot on with being able to kind of investigate and go into that. So I've been guided to pick from the Starseed oracles. So I'll just have a look into that. And I've got 3 cards that are just face down as well. So we'll feel into that. But sometimes when the starseed oracle comes up, it's because someone has more unearthly energy. So we have the cosmic heart, which makes sense with kind of the feeling of like carer energy that I get as well. And with carer energy, sometimes it will also be that you're a divine empath. So really making sure to look back, as we said, for some of the other people here tonight too, there's, I would say, a collectiveness of really like, what are your own needs? What is it that you need to do? Can you put yourself first? You know, this energy is coming up as a bit of a theme I'm seeing with clients at the moment as well. So we got the cosmic heart come up for you, Lily. And I mean, this is such a beautiful devotional energy that we see often sometimes like with Mary Magdalene energy, or that Christ consciousness or Christos energy come forth. They really are heart-led empaths. So it says devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. So I really do feel it is kind of dedicating more time to yourself and really putting yourself first, especially when it comes to the study. So I'll just feel into these 3 cards. And I actually feel like that my feet are not landing on the earth with these cards. So I do feel it is more about exploring like the higher spiritual realms and kind of getting more into the esoteric nature of things. So I'll flip these cards over. And yeah, so what we have is the 10 of Wands, the card of oppression, which is Saturn and Sagittarius. So for me, when I see this kind of opposition show up between Saturn and Sag, I love to look at it as we can try and move forward from the physical and shoot the arrow out here. I'm going to try this in this direction. But until we actually step into kind of high priestess energy, we will still get the roadblocks. We will still get things pop up, reasons why we can't do something, reasons of why we shouldn't invest in self, reasons of why other people need to come first. So just know that in making a decision or a commitment to yourself, it's natural that you'll have different things pop up. We see the alchemy card, which is called art in this deck. Now, this represents sort of being like a container. So we see this golden little orb of light or portal vortex opening up, which is called Ori Malkith in Hebrew. And it represents being that beautiful essence of the creator and the creator's creation. So you're literally put here on earth to be this portal energy for the divine, that Christ consciousness energy to shift through this potency into our earth realm. So it's like with the opposition energy, I definitely we've been looking at what is it like if you don't show up, if you don't step into your full potential, and use that as that chariot energy to drive forward. But we do see the Five of Swords come up as well. So really be careful of like the excuses that could be made. Mental defeat. Like really look at like, are you having like mental defeatist energy before you fully begin or before you commit, or even like why you're in the process? It really is come back to like why you're here at this particular point in time.
Amazing. Thank you, Solretta. And thank you, Lily, for the super chat. We've got one more super chat here, and it's more of an astrology question. 8th House Alchemy asks, Pisces rising here, Libra Sun, Sag Moon, asking for any insight into Saturn ingressing my ascendant. So that is very, very interesting, 8th House Alchemy. You're going to be having Saturn over your ascendant or around your ascendant for the next 2.5, 3 years. And you guys, anytime we have a planet transiting over our ascendant or our midheaven in astrology, these are really big influences, probably one of the biggest influences, if not the biggest one that we've got going on, because there's such critical points of an astrology chart. And the ascendant is how we show up to the world and how we are seen, and a lot about what we offer out into the world. And I find our gifts and talents as well. So with Saturn being in Pisces going over your rising 8th house alchemy, you know, I see your name is 8th house alchemy. So you're probably into some kind of esoteric or spiritual talents or gifts. And Saturn is all about hard work. So Saturn wants us to work hard to be able to get, you know, rewards of abundance and happiness and fulfillment through career. Your career is going to be very much on fire. And I think you're going to be wanting to do a lot of hard work, being of service there for people in some sort of esoteric art, or maybe even in some sort of creative way, because Pisces is one of the most creative signs. And Pisces does also have to do with healing. So whether it is, you know, more of an energy healing thing, or even can be into holistic type of practices of healing for people, I think you're definitely going to be seen as being someone who is being of service. And I think you're going to be quite successful at that over the next few years with Saturn ingressing your ascendant. So thank you so much for that super chat. Hope you resonated with that answer that I had. And ladies, is there anything else that we feel to bring up before finishing this show tonight? Solretta, anything that you feel like bringing up?
Yeah, I just feel guided. Spirit's just guiding me to pick from the Star Tarot deck. So I'll just pick, I feel it's more for a collective. So they're just telling me to pick 3 cards. I keep seeing like 9 of Swords pop up as well. So there could be really, you know, that heaviness sometimes that we get with 9 of Swords energy. Sometimes I'll see it as like a cloud of like depression or like a lower vibrational frequency that's sort of like lingering. So I'll just see what we have. And this deck, I don't always feel into. I'll just sometimes flip it over. But what they're showing is like, it's a lot of like release work. So on this other side of the full moon, who is it that we're going to become? What is it that we're shifting out of? I feel there's a lot of like reflection coming up as well for collective consciousness. So it's letting emotion and thought come up, reflect on it. But I'm then seeing spirit go like this. So it's like, it doesn't have to touch you. We can kind of look at the water of the reflection, but we don't have to choose for it to be us. So even if it is past reactions, past emotion, I feel like that's kind of what we're letting go of. And I guess that's some of that, you know, discriminate energy that we have sometimes with Virgo, but it's like a gentle kind of discrimination, as though that's no longer part of you, is what Spirit's showing. So I'll flip the cards. Oh my gosh, it's 9 of Swords again. So I saw this before I closed my eyes and shuffled. And then I saw it again right before. And then like when I picked the cards, I had the vision of it. And we have the Magician come up with this, which in my favorite deck is also known as the Magnus. So with this is step into your full talents, like your full gifts and everything. It's also sometimes a little bit of a message to watch out for those that have quite a charismatic, like magnetic personality. And the other 2 cards we have are 3 of Wands and 2 of Swords. So definitely come back into alignment with higher self. break free from anything that's kind of like keeping you pulled down or disconnected. Yeah, I would say the word rebirth as well. And we also see kind of as above, so below. For me, the Two of Swords too is that crossroad energy of both things physically and visually look identical, but there's always that third option to kind of go higher. So I feel that for the collective at the moment to break free from any of this. This is also called the card of cruelty, and it's Gemini and Mercury energy. Oh, sorry, is it? Yeah. I think maybe Mercury and Mars. I'm just trying to visualize like the picture on my other card. So anyway, it's breaking free from anything, whether it's like cruelty from others or cruelty to self. I also see this as a bit of a card that's represented the last 3 years. I call it the JAB card. So I would say this is the purging of the last 3 years, and we're actually going through a renewal.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Solretta and Sophie, for joining me today with this Divine Feminine Oracle show. This has been so magical. We've got some things to share that are coming up. Sophie and I are going to be doing our second episode of this new show, Psychic Spies, and our theme is going to be Elvis Presley. Unredacted. So I know Sophie is a really big Elvis Presley fan. She's the Elvis Presley, having a brain fart know-all. So you're going to be helping us to, get into Elvis Presley very deeply with the intuitive tarot and any intuitive messages. And I'm going to be looking at the astrology of Elvis. So this is a really fun show that we've just started doing, and it's over on the Insider Access Pass on Beyond Mystic, and also it's a pay-per-view video available on Beyond Mystic. So we're going to be doing it live for the Insider Access Pass tomorrow, March 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it'll be available on pay-per-view on Beyond Mystic for anyone that would like to watch that. That's going to be super fun. We're going to reveal the secrets of Elvis that want to come through. And then also, you guys, we've got another live full moon meditation hosted by Janine and Elena. And this one is, of course, for the Virgo full moon that we're having right now with the theme of detox and purification. So you can check out this and register for it at beyondmystic.academy. And this is going to be happening tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. So definitely go check that out, you guys. And we've also got, Julie's been making these lovely new show schedules for us all to look at, and look at how filled up the calendar is getting, you guys. There's so much going on at Beyond Mystic and at Maison Jupiter. This is so exciting. So these are going to be the shows that we have coming up over the next week. And we've got all our, our Divine Feminine Oracle shows with Beyond Tarot with Sophie on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern, and then Beyond Reality with Solretta Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, and also Sophie's Pick a Cards Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and I do my Beyond Astro Weekly Forecast Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, so that will be up tomorrow. And also, you guys, Julie does amazing personalized birth charts that are beautiful, like art pieces with a full big description of your birth chart descriptions. So that is available on maisonjupiter.com for anybody that would like to check that out, the personalized birth charts by Julie. And I think that's all that we've got for you guys today. Is there anything else that I'm missing, you guys, or we're feeling complete? Feeling good?
I just wanted to say thank you so much, girls, for having me on Divine Feminine Oracles. I've just loved being with you guys the last 2 weeks. And yeah, I just adore the audience here on Beyond Mystic. So I just want to say thank you and send you all my love as well.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, I will mention that we're all doing personal consultations. So Sophie and I have our personal consultations available at maisonjupiter.com. And Solretta has her personal sessions available at solretta.com. So you guys can go check that out. And we've all got discount code Beyond Mystic to get 10% off if you'd like to get some in-depth fun, magical readings with us. So thank you guys so much for joining us for this Divine Feminine Oracles episode. I think we've shared a lot of in-depth information in this episode, so really hope you guys enjoyed it. And we're sending you all so, so much love, and we will see you next week, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Sorella. Thank you, Meg.
Thank you, girls.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.